And we are live.
Yes, indeed.
Good morning, Crypto Warriors, and welcome back to the Gym in the Crypto episode 262. Today is Thursday, October 4th, and I'm King.
And I'm Bitcoin Zay, and we're here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community Monday through Friday at 10-ish.
At 10-ish.
Which is why you see us now.
I was walking upstairs yesterday in this building. I was going like this. I was walking upstairs, it's being funny. As soon as I turned around, beautiful person looking at me like, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know. Oh, man. Good morning, Madam Crypto. Good morning, Evan. Good morning, Cornelius. Hey. New Legacy, Marcellus Love, Tessa, Christopher Ladd.
What's going
on?
Hello,
hello. Yeah, that's the Birdman hand rub. There we go. Yeah. About to bridge that gap.
Yep, yes, indeed.
Who won the free Satoshis from yesterday?
Well, unfortunately, we have no winner for the free Satoshis
no
yesterday.
One wanted to stand up and fight against XRP. All right.
We gave everybody that was talking about Ripple the chance to explain it to us why it's better than Bitcoin, right. Where it can be used at retail. Nobody actually explained anything, so no winner from yesterday. But
there you go. We'll have that question again one day when the army comes back.
Yeah.
P-Man Van, what's going on? P-Man Van said because it's useless.
P-Man Van, what's up?
Yeah, if you all watch us in Wakanda as well, when we do our weekly wrap up with Lamar Wilson over there. It was some people that jumped in, or actually Ken Bozak jumped in on the chat, was talking about XRP as well. He's like, it's not a real cryptocurrency, so it's pretty funny on there.
Oh yeah, shout out to Ken.
Yeah, all right. Well, hey, we'll have that question again next time the troll army come back. Christopher Ladd said not even a troll.
We need to hit up Tiffany Hayden, have her explain it to us.
No, it's fine. No one wanted to answer because they knew we were going to pay them in Satoshis.
Yeah, no.
All right, top story. I mean, everyone around the world knows it. And that is the text message that happened. No, I'm just kidding. Seriously. People watch the news. There's so many people. We were talking yesterday. We was like, how did people not know about this text message thing? Like, they pretty much told everybody.
If you didn't know that capability was available on your phone,
right?
Welcome to the future, people. We are living in Skynet. Y'all didn't realize your phone could be, they could take everything on your phone. There's a reason Snowden can't come back to America.
Exactly, right?
He told y'all this.
Top story of the day, the big hack, how China used a tiny chip to infiltrate United States companies. This is on Bloomberg, of course. Posted it today, early this morning. I'm not gonna lie, when I first saw this story, and I was asking Bitcoin Zay about this, I was like, I thought this was already known. Yeah. Because when I first heard about it, it was probably about anywhere from 3 to 4 or 5 years ago. That Chinese companies were putting chips into small devices you wouldn't think of sometimes. I mean, honestly, it goes back as far as some of the newer Blu-ray players they said they used to do it in. So I thought this was kind of known, but I didn't realize how big it was. It looks like the attack by Chinese spies reached almost 30 U.S. companies, including Amazon and Apple, by compromising America's technology supply chain, according to extensive interviews with government and corporate sources. What's going on with this story? What is this story? How did they hack us?
Oh, yeah.
What's this tiny chip they're talking about? What's the word?
Oh yeah. So ironically, this chip created by China was the size of a grain of rice. Woo. And they put this chip on the hardware that was used for servers. These servers that were provided, there was a company called Supermicro Computer based out in San Jose. They are one of the world's biggest suppliers of server motherboards. They actually had servers, or when they got checked, they had servers that have been compromised. And these servers are in CIA's drone operators, Department of Defense data centers, Navy warships. So it's one of those things where if you figured out that it's in the actual supply chains, in the hardware, it's basically nothing you could do at this point because you don't know how far and how deep and wide this has gone. So these companies like Amazon, Apple, they use this server company, and honestly, these small chips have been able to extract data and who knows what else. I mean, if it's a listening device, if it's a way to take data, it is one of those things that is nearly impossible to pull off. It would take years. When we were talking about it, I was saying this is something computer scientists and people, security people have been talking about for like 20 years. Like one day there could be somebody who pulls this off. And I like the quote here where it says, having a well-done nation-state level hardware implant would be like witnessing a unicorn jumping over a rainbow, which is true. This is nearly impossible to pull off because some of these top companies, they check everything. They check the hardware, they check everything that comes with it. They pull it apart software-wise. They do the same thing. So until they don't. And it only takes one time or one mess up, And now that technology can be in a grain of rice, I mean, if it's that small, if you have something like that, Edward Snowden warned you. He tried to tell you.
And we wanted to red ball him after he warned us, but you know, this is one of those things where it's kind of it's bad to say it, because when you're looking at global economy, this shouldn't exist. But since we have this global economy that's led by state actors of different governments that are competing with each other for whatever reason, and willing to go to war and kill each other over stuff. This is what you get. You can't be an import-only country just talking about the United States when you talk about Apple or whatever. I mean, we import way more than we export. And things like this that we have outsourced because of the cheap labor costs or the cheap product costs or whatever reason. I mean, this is why people don't do it. You know, you talking about chips that go inside of your cell phone, your laptop, like all the tech that we use as a country. And of course, when you know, traditional U.S. Government as well as military, when they think about war, they're thinking tanks and this and that. I mean, we just now started to go to small unit capabilities and drones and stuff. But usually people think a lot of technology and stuff. And it's like, no, this is what's going to hurt us the most, regardless of what country you're in. It's going to be little stuff like, oh, we can just hack into all your cell phones and laptops and just change the course of history like that.
Oh, yeah. And I don't know if they can hack your crypto wallets based on this technology. However, it was used as a way to surveillance on different companies. So they may be able to, from that standpoint, as far as with surveillance, they can figure it out if you say something or if you mention it. However, this does affect everything, not just crypto. It affects everybody who is connected to the internet, who has some sort of connection to Amazon, Apple. This affects. Now, it goes a lot deeper than what we're explaining it, but we have to wait and see what all the facts come out. But this article is huge. I mean, this may be the reason we got that text message from the president, just
right on time.
Because as soon as the president starts sending out text messages trying to tell you, oh yeah, this is from the emergency system. Is there an emergency coming that we need to know about? Like, is it,
what makes you want to test this all of a sudden on a Wednesday afternoon?
Yeah, just out of the blue. They shut down the eastern region of the NSA, and then boom, then something happened. I mean, who knows? So that is interesting that happened, and then this story came out right after it. So I'm pretty wary of stuff like this. It's I'm glad I'm one of those people that, you know, realize that this is possible. Some people didn't even know this was a thing. Yeah, some people don't realize that China has a whole network of hackers who, if you look at their their workflow, they literally work from 8 to 12, go to lunch from 12 to 1, because all the activity goes down, and then 1 to 5, this is a job. So
and honestly, we just hack. Our quote unquote cyber unit, at least for the military, we didn't even start that, I think, until about was it 2010, 2011? 2010, that's when we first started the United States like military cyber unit. I think they didn't even start getting their pins until like 2012 or 2013, when people say, all right, they should get like a warfare pin to signify that, you know, they've done something to help the fight. At first, it was a big pushback because people were saying, well, they're not going out in the field, they're not actually fighting, they're not doing anything. Why should they get a warfare pin? And then, you know, and even up until the last few years, people still didn't see it. They're like, I don't understand why these people are, you know, getting promoted where they're getting promoted, getting pins where they're getting pins. And this is why, because this is the new frontier of where wars will be fought. But on that note, I wanted to highlight something we've spoken about before, is in this article. They're talking about such as a highly secure cloud the Amazon Web Service was building for CIA. They were building a web cloud for it. But again, going back to Amazon Web Services, people, if it's an article on Bloomberg about a chip that can hack everything, and in that article they mentioned Amazon Web Service building something for CIA. Pay attention to the app.
Pay attention, bro.
You're not about to join the CIA, but you can learn how to use Amazon Web Services at home on your laptop. So that's something to definitely take a closer look at, because as we said, these cloud services and cloud servers are going to be a part of the future as well. So you're going to know how to use them.
Yeah, so unfortunately this has happened, but this is a good lesson for people to understand. World War III will be fought on the internet. It will not be with guns.
Right.
This is how it starts. So it's a lot that goes into this. And another story we have later probably interwove with this as well. So yeah, sad to see it, but it happens. And
one thing I want to hit on, because I don't think we pulled the story up. Did you hear about that Facebook breach?
Big breach. 50 million people affected by it.
50 million people affected by the Facebook breach. That actually went under the radar a little bit.
Yeah. They got that story out.
They got it out. I think it went on the radar, though, because everybody already decided that they destroyed Mark Zuckerberg enough that he won't want to run for president again. But if his presidential bid was still on track, they definitely would have pushed that out even harder. But I mean, again, somebody was just talking about, American companies getting hacked left and right. Yeah.
Equifax, Deloitte, yeah.
Facebook now. It looks like Apple, maybe Amazon, just everything. So
yeah, and I don't know, Federal. This may be why the stock market took a small tank. You know, it's a number of reasons it could, but yeah, that may be a reason why the stock market may have been falling just a tad. But you know,
it's a crazy story. Affects us all. But here is some good news, I guess. Abra wallet and exchange service introduces token that tracks crypto index.
Oh yeah, shout out to Abra. Yeah,
everybody out here working. You see what I mean, people? It's been a down year as far as the quote unquote price when compared to the USD value. But as we said, 1 Bitcoin equals 1 Bitcoin, and these companies are still building. Digital currency wallet and exchange, Abra has launched support for a new token, BIT10, that tracks the Bitwise 10 large cap crypto index, according to announcement published October 3rd.
Oh yeah, yeah, and I like the fact that this index is a direct competition with the Coinbase bundle.
Y'all not gonna be the only one getting this fake money out here.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
funny money.
We got our own market capitalizations, but yeah, if you pay attention to us and you watch the news, you can see that big companies, most of them don't have an innovative bone in their body. They have the money to pay for something that is similar to another company. So that's why all of a sudden you saw one stable coin come out, then you saw 4 later.
Like
you
in
saw
the same
one
week.
index. One index fund now, Abra's is coming out. You saw one company all of a sudden delist coins. You see another company start to delist coins. I mean, this is one of those things where they don't really have that much innovation, but they do realize where the market is going. So this is good to see that if they're going to allow people to buy cryptocurrencies on Abra, if you have it, it's a wallet you can get on your phone. This is a good option. I mean, we even said with the Coinbase bundle, some people don't really know what they're doing anyway. But if you have a small amount of money you could put in and you have exposure to a bunch of different cryptocurrencies, less risk to a new person, and onboarding process wise, they don't have to read every single thing about EOS and Dash and how does Ethereum work. They may not care. They may just say, okay, I know this is going to make money.
Doesn't make me money.
Good to see there.
It looks like the Bitwise 10 large cap crypto index was developed by cryptocurrency asset manager firm Bitwise Asset Management, is reportedly listed exclusively on Abra. So great partnership there. The index tracks the 10 largest cryptocurrencies by market cap, currently representing 80% of the total crypto market capitalization. It says in this quote here from Hunter Horsley, CEO of Bitwise, says so far in the crypto space, index investing has only been available to institutions and credit investors. This is what we've been telling people from day one. All of this stuff that everyone keeps, well, isn't this illegal, or isn't this criminal, or are we allowed to do this, or the regulation, or the license, or we need this, or I'm scared to do business because they don't have this, that, and the other.
Stop being scared.
It is like, this was not like anything to make a lot of money wasn't designed for the retail investor. I mean, right here it says the index investing has been available to institutions and accredited investors, not your mom and pop, not your average everyday Joe. So, and it's crazy the feedback we always receive about things being illegal or needing licenses and regulations and lawyer, all the extra roadblocks only come from the retail space. It only comes from the mom and pop for the most part. Don't get me wrong, for the most part. There's a lot of institutional and accredited investors who are like, maybe it's because they have the money to burn or whatever, but they're more willing to take that risk and that chance. Maybe it's because they know they got a good lawyer. I don't know. But they're more willing to take those risks and chances without asking, a million and one questions, whereas you see with the retail space, they're, they feel like they're not allowed to make the money. And that's because, legally you probably aren't. But what are you going to do? You're going to sit back, or you're going to say, well, you tell me institutions can do it, accredited investors can do it, I can do it too, Yeah,
it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission, especially if when you asking for forgiveness, you got millions of dollars to do it with. So
really.
When you're in front of that judge, it's a lot different. But somebody said this may be a good alternative to an ETF. This isn't technically an ETF. However, it is very similar, and it is one of the complications with this space is, what do you call it? I mean, do you really call it an ETF, index fund, whatever? Because it is based on exposure to cryptocurrencies and not traditional stuff. So who knows? But as long as they realize, as they've stated, BIT10 is not a security token, which is what will be used on their platform. So,
and I'm pretty sure these reports, maybe not publicly to the entire world, but at least publicly to the customers, they have to let them know which coins they're investing in their index fund and how much of a percentage going to each coin. I mean, honestly, you can just find that information out Let's say you don't want to do the deep digging. Just find out what their index fund is compromised of, the percentages, and just redo it on your own desktop wallet or mobile wallet. You don't even need to use them. They don't, because at the end of the day, what's the game plan for this? It's to take fees.
Yeah,
it's all about how can we make money in this new financial market, this new financial environment. Of course, there's always fees, and that's one way to do it, is take fees. So if you don't want to pay them those fees, hopefully they're going to be low, but
yeah, they're pretty low on Abra.
Okay, they are. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's right now.
Right now.
I mean, that's like
you always know they got to pull you.
Everything's
in.
free at first.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
if those fees remain low, whatever. But if they ever get competitive, or you just don't want to pay them, just find out what their index fund is made up of and do it yourself.
Do your own market cap weights.
There we go. Crypto exchange Polonia X removes margin and lending products for U.S. users.
Oh, man.
Listen,
we got to have a moment of silence.
I was just about to go.
Polonia X is gone. It's dead. It's over.
I was about to say, it's been a slow death, but a death nonetheless.
It's over, man.
U.S.-based cryptocurrency exchange platform Polonia X will remove margin and lending products for its customers in the U.S. and delist 3 digital assets, according to an announcement published October 3rd. Poloniex is a cryptocurrency trading platform founded in 2014 and designed as a digital currency to digital currency exchange. In 2018, Poloniex was acquired by Dublin-based payments technology firm Circle for $400 million. Of course, Goldman Sachs backs Circle. Currently, Poloniex is ranked 38th by the adjusted trade. Okay, that was just an extra memory.
All right, 38th right now?
First, I just want to comment the fact that an exchange life cycle is shorter than that of a rapper or an athlete. Like, you really have a better chance to go be a rapper or athlete than to have an exchange last for 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, how crazy is that?
Yeah.
But, in all fair play, seriously, these exchanges, as we've seen, I mean, on average, they're lasting 2 years, people.
Yeah.
Like, as far as being popular, at least. They're letting popularity, that's even shorter than that. Probably a year and a half of popularity.
Yeah.
We keep seeing it. Poloniex had an awesome run. Don't get me wrong. I mean, 2016 was a sweet time to be on Poloniex.
Polo, man.
It was a beautiful time. Everything, the bells and whistles was working right.
The chat box was
it was a beautiful part of just the community of it. It was just amazing. But of course, no one expected that price to do what it did last year, and that messed up a lot of companies in terms of scaling. But one of the things we kept saying was that, hey, a lot of these big companies, which we're still going to see going into the end of this year and next year, we just saw with TD Ameritrade, but they're going to be buying the bags, and this is what they mean. What we mean, they're going to be buying these volume-inflated exchanges. Whether they're actually good or bad, it doesn't matter. They're buying the data and the infrastructure, but they're going to buy these exchanges and find out that no one's using it, or it's already dead in the water. So they literally just
artificial volume.
Right, they bought a $400 million exchange, and now they're delisting. Or not delisting, that's the tokens, but now they're removing that margin and lending products. Those are some of the things that made them appealing the first time. Because Poloniex was only one of the only places you can do margin trading on a few years ago.
You could do lending
on you can do lending on it.
I mean, that's no risk involved. You just put a lending price, people will use it to do margin trading, and if you had the money, you literally could just make passive income.
Right.
I mean, but at the same time, nobody knew. Like we always say, if you were around earlier, nobody knew what the rules were. Nobody knew, what exchanges are supposed to do. You just knew it had features, and one of the features was margin lending, and a lot of people used it. I mean, Poloniex was one. I think was the only place you could do margin.
Yeah, that's
lending
what I was thinking. It might have been
all coins. Maybe Cryptopia, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But Poloniex back in the day was.
You can get some money on Poloniex, people.
Yeah, it was A1 back in the day, and. It was great for the people who use it. You can margin trade, I think up to 5x at the time with different cryptos. So, it was a good run while I had it, but it's officially dead now.
And I want to concentrate on some of these delisted tokens they're talking about, because again, we always talk about how the top 10 is changing or some top coins. They're delisting Sonero AMP or ticker symbol AMP, Expanse ticker symbol EXP, and Genosis ticker symbol GNO. I think I said that right. But I know for a fact Expanse and Genosis used to be some of the top coins out there.
I would say Expanse and
they were definitely top 15 between the both. And I think Genosis at one point may have gotten all the way up to like 12 or something. So again, people, we talk about this, and this is like a beginning of last year. They were some of the top coins. So these 3 coins that you're seeing get listed, I mean. Again, they had a hype train before too, where they were just pumping, dumping, whatever. But it just kind of goes to show that just because you see some of these coins in the top 10 or top 5, whatever, it's like, hey, Give it 12 months.
Yeah,
give it 6 months
time.
and see what happens. Like, you know, because they rotate pretty quickly. So.
Oh yeah. Shout out to Kevin Jarvis. He said he signed up to get verified in December 2017 and still hasn't got verified.
Oh, it was too late. They were already.
I mean,
yeah.
If you would have saw, back, if you would have tried to verify, back in the day, like earlier, it probably would have been next day, just because they would probably been like, you trying to verify? You know what I mean?
This article has 28 comments.
Yeah.
This explains something though. I was talking to Bitcoin Zay the other day, and I was like, hey, we still got that Polonia X pass, right? Because, we started getting emails from Polonia X saying, make sure you empty your accounts. Like the last week and a half, they've been sending these emails out to their users.
Been on there so long.
And that's what we were like, I haven't been on there forever, whatever. Like, we're pretty sure we emptied everything out, but let's check because it's crypto. You might have a few Satoshis in there worth 60, 70 bucks. You never know. But this explains why they're sending that out now.
Yeah. And I'm hearing stories about people who, if they don't verify, they can't move their money off the exchange, which to me is just theft. And then also too, that if you do verify and the money that you made from it, I believe if you've made a certain amount or whatever, that they restrict how much you can send. So it's like,
you're going to keep it on their exchange.
Yeah, you gotta keep it there, man.
This Swaps.com commenter on the article says when Trollbox open again. That's too funny.
Trollbox is legendary. Hey,
people, you missed a great time in crypto history on that one.
Oh yeah.
All right. Another U.S. indictment links Bitcoin to covert Russian intelligence activity.
Of course it does.
It's funny, right? This again. All right, we'll go back through this. A newly published indictment by the U.S. Department of Justice charges 7 alleged. I don't know why we're charging them. Like, why are we using taxpayer money on this? But charges 7 alleged Russian intelligence agents with using cryptocurrencies as part of a broad, quote, influence and disinformation, end quote, scheme. The government alleges that Alexei Sergeyevich, all right, I'm not going to say his name.
That minefield of names.
Alexei Evgeny, I like to try though. Ivan, I know I do that one. Artem, Dmitry, Biden, and Oleg, and Alexei are members of the Russian intelligence agency and hacked into computer networks used by anti-doping and sporting officials, as well as groups investigating Russia's alleged use of chemical weapons. All right. At the end of the day, whether they did or didn't, people, every government does this. Literally. I just talked about our cyber union. You think they just twirling their thumbs and playing defense all day?
Nah.
Like, every government attacks other governments. They attack every other government election. I mean, we've meddled in tons of elections throughout history, as well as I'm sure other governments have tried to do with us. It just makes sense, right? As far as them actually naming these intelligence officers, I'm kind of against that one as well, because I'll tell you now, the United States would have a meltdown if Russia or China started naming our intelligence officers by name.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on, people.
Yeah.
Like, do you understand what this means? Like, this is basically saying, feel free to do whatever you want to these people, and you get a pass from the United States.
Oh yeah, and this is just allegations. So imagine if they, actually.
Yeah, I don't agree with that part. It's always fun and games until you get hit back, right?
Yeah, and I mean, it's kind of a one-sided story because they said primarily Bitcoin was used.
Right,
however,
of course.
There were a variety of currencies used, including U.S. dollars. So, like we said, even though Bitcoin, like we said, may have been primary or the primary way to pay for it, if you do something criminal and you use a currency to pay for it, that's just what people do. Right. And at the same time, it is, one of those things where we do the same thing. So I'm sure there's some intelligence agents out there that was moving some Bitcoin somewhere. I mean, how much Bitcoin have we taken from people or confiscated?
Right.
Tens of thousands of Bitcoin. So I'm sure some of that may have been used to purchase a few things, but who knows? And come on, man.
Not only that, are we, since they're talking about where they're getting their sources of funding, are we throwing everything in there? Yeah. What about the mom and pop stores some of these people own? What about their private business? What about their investments in different things, the real estate they bought? Yeah. Like, all of this counts as value. So whenever we see these articles as Bitcoins, they said just trying to highlight Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. It's like, all right, so either we're dealing with some highly sophisticated, very intelligent traders over here, or we're dealing with some people who made some money in the Bitcoin market, just like however much else of the global population that decided to dip into the last couple of years. So
this is funny to me too. They brought it up out the blue. They said, while not directly related to the ongoing investigation into suspected Russian interference in the 2016 U.S. presidential election, Assistant Attorney General John Demers actually stated during the press conference that 3 of the named defendants were previously charged in that probe. So I'm telling you, they're trying to connect these dots of cryptocurrencies used by terrorists to attack our country. I'm telling you, it's coming. And they're going to be like, if you want to work with terrorists, use cryptocurrency.
Use crypto if you're a terrorist.
But if you're a true patriot, you need to use our USD coin. Like, it's coming, people. I can't wait for that commercial to come out so we can just laugh for 30 minutes straight. Whenever that, you know, propaganda.
Why do you hate America? You like to use crypto.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
You can see it now. All right, last but not least, we're going to end on a great note. A $30 million Manhattan condo was just tokenized on public Ethereum blockchain.
Oh yeah. This ain't
Can't stop it, people. Right? I know, right? It says here, Manhattan's first major asset to be tokenized on the blockchain is a luxury condo recently valued at $30 million. I know the bankers won't like that. The East Village building contains 12 condos, each with 1,700 square feet of space. So that sounds like actually a nice building. If you got a condo with 1,700 square feet in East Village in New York,
what's that? $1 million a month?
Right. Of a space each now has been tokenized on Ethereum blockchain. The real estate property is now represented with a sum of tokens available for purchase on the blockchain. A token represents a portion of the value of the property, allowing people to invest in luxury condos, even with a small investment, something which was previously very difficult and now impossible. People, we talk about the micro, I can't think of the word.
Micropayments, yeah.
Micropayments and stuff. While this won't be a micropayment in the definition of the word as far as less than pennies or pennies on the dollar, is this still a type of micropayment that's very innovative? When you can say, hey, I have this condo, it's been tokenized on the blockchain, it's worth however much Ethereum, crypto, Bitcoin, whatever you want to name it, that's how much it's worth. And you can go in and just buy a piece of that. Beautiful. Beautiful, people.
Yeah, it's a great time to be alive, actually. And the digital assets firm Propeller, they partner with Fluidity to tokenize real estate, and they plan to collaborate in the future. So if you're one of those people who look at real estate or do real estate, I can tell you right now, if you have no knowledge of tokens, of the Ethereum blockchain, of selling real estate for cryptocurrency, you might want to find out, because this will become easier and easier as we go along. And if a $30 million condo, I'm pretty sure most people that are watching don't have $30 million properties laying around. But if they'll do it, trust me, your small properties or your houses or condos that you do rent out, you could do something similar. The same thing.
That's true. Wow. Yeah, wait until that play. I mean, again, we always talk about these $1 billion ideals for people listening. That is another $1 billion ideal. You think about, how they do Airbnbs and stuff.
Oh man.
What if you had I don't know how to describe it, like the Airbnb for condos and apartments that you could just tokenize yourself and have people buy it on the platform.
Oh yeah.
That's really good.
That would be great. And then I mean, as far as sending payments, it'll be instant. It won't. They won't have to charge you $100 extra on your card.
Yeah, you keep everything blockchain. You keep the payments on the blockchain.
That's kind of weird with Airbnb.
If you sell the deed, that's sold on the blockchain. So let's say if you sell a deed to a condo and all these people own a piece of that token or whatever, you could have the option to get your money directly back to you, or you can continue to hold it and see how much the next person buys it for and what happens with the market. But
yeah, this is a whole different business plan. So yeah,
again, another
brave new world,
another derivative, so you don't have to buy Bitcoin yourself, people.
Yeah, exactly.
This comment from Cornelius Broadnex is pretty funny. He's talking about S1 Dub said another "we need Bitcoin regulation propaganda stunt" in regards to the Bitcoin and the Russians.
Yep.
And
it's coming, man.
Cornelius was talking about those old World War II propaganda posters where he said riding alone means you're riding with Hitler. Save gas for the boys overseas.
Exactly.
That's how it's going to look, though.
It's going to be on Instagram.
Right. It's going to be an Instagram ad.
Instagram ad.
Do you love your country, but do you love it enough to stop using cryptocurrency? All right.
Buy some tea.
Right, too funny. That's all we have for today for the for the free Satoshis. What are we doing?
So for the free Satoshis, we discussed Abra Global being able to have their index fund BIT10 with 10 different cryptocurrencies. Let us know, do you think these index funds or things like it will get rid of the need for an ETF? Do you think people will care anymore if I can buy within my app and I can have the choice between high risk, low risk, medium risk exchanges, whatever you want to buy? Do you think that will decrease the need for ETF. Put your public address, and we will send those free Satoshis to one winner.
Thank you. In the note section of the video, in the future videos, we're going to have the discount code for World CryptoCon in there. We got new codes, $300 off now. First it was only $250. It's $300 off tickets.
Yeah.
So once this video processes, it usually takes an hour or so. Once the video processes, we'll upload it with the new notes, and you can see that code in there, and then we'll also tweet that out as well. So check it out, and if it's something you think you can afford, you want to make it to, again, it'll be a great time. World CryptoCon, October 31st, November 2nd.
Oh, yeah.
First night, Steve Aoki for Kim Bozak's birthday party. It's going to be all the YouTube and social media influencers there, as well as a lot of the traditional institutional folks that are in the cryptocurrency space speaking. You got Vinny Lingram over from Civic Key. You have Tim Draper, of course. Charlie Lee, Litecoin. Yep, Litecoin, Charlie Lee are going to be there. Charlie Shrim's going to be there. He's done a lot in the industry. He's one of the first in there. And, of course, he took a big hit for everybody to live on.
Yeah, first to the door.
Yeah, he definitely got hit with it. So shout out to everybody who's going to be there, and hopefully you can join us, and we'll see you there.
Oh, yeah. Have a good one, people.
Cheers.